Okay, so it's been about a year since I made these. These are my blinkers. These two are covered in sand because I had to go dig them out of the sand pit. So brief recap, these have solar panels, electronics and super caps inside them, and they blink out a Morse coded message. They're designed to last a very, very long time. So they'll still work. So this is the very first one, which is made with this some epoxy acrylic or something, polyester. It's rubbish, terrible stuff. These are the next ones I made, gradually refining the process. The first four all have the same electronics in them, and then the newer ones have the new electronics in them. This one has some modifications. So the only real degradation I've seen in these early ones is the resin is getting slightly yellow. These have all been sitting in the Australian sun for a year, except for these ones which have been buried for a couple of months, in and out of the sandpit. But you can see that they're going a little bit yellow, as compared to, like, this one's only 6 months old, 8 months old. This is when I tried to cast in some silicon, and this one I cast yesterday. So you can if I put this one seems to be less yellow, maybe because the outside is a bit more cloudy. I think this one was cast in just straight plywood or something, and then I tried to sand the surface down to make it smooth, whereas this one was cast directly up against some acrylic, a laser cut. But yeah, if you put them side by side, you can see there's a pretty significant difference in the colour. But in terms of structural integrity, they still seem to be fine. But yeah, electrically, they're still blinking away, no worries. This one is really, really nice, except for the bubbles. So this one was my first one I made with a new resin that can do deeper pours. So all of these ones were poured in 4 goes, I think. So I pour one layer. Where's the best one to see the layers? Pour one layer to sort of set it up off the bottom, and then 2, 3, 4 pours over the top. It takes ages because you have to wait for each one to sort of gel between each pour, whereas this one was done in 2 pours. So there's one to set it up off the bottom, and then bloop, all the rest of it. My vacuum pump broke, so I couldn't vacuum the bubbles out of this one, so it's a bit bubbly. And also I think this one I used my hand vacuum pump to try to degas it a bit, and it's crystal clear with no bubbles at all inside the resin, whereas this side, I think partially because it's a deeper pour, the bubbles had less time to escape, but also I didn't really bother trying to vacuum that one down. I just did some sprays of isopropyl alcohol on the surface to get rid of the bubbles. Annoyingly, for the version 1.1, they changed the LED colour on me. I didn't pay close enough attention, and I just reordered exactly the same PCB, but JLC put a different LED on there for some reason. Who knows, maybe they had a part shortage on the red LED. They're very hard to come by, those things. But this one is the same PCB, version 1.1, but I've made a modification. It's only got 4 cells on it, and I've taken off the voltage limiting Zener diode. So the thought here is that when I was doing the testing on the circuit early on, the majority of the power consumption was leakage through the Zener. The microcontroller and LED were less than 5% of the power lost through the voltage regulator. So I just left it out and put in fewer cells to keep the total voltage under the limit for the supercaps. So I'm logging the voltage now. These supercaps are rated for 3 volts, and it's maxed out at 2.16. Not sure if the supercaps are fully charged. It's only been out in the sun for like half an hour. I was expecting a higher voltage. The supercap, the cell open circuit does about 3.2 volts with 5 cells. So I was expecting it to max out, well, under load, or with the cells, with the capacitors in circuit, it maxes out at about 2.9. So I was expecting a little bit higher than 2.1-ish, but we'll see how we go. But yeah, these are still trucking. I want to get them all in the sun, get them all fully charged, and then put them all in the shade and see how long they blink for. This one I had just finished making it last night and put it under some lights and charged it up to about 2 volts, and it was still blinking like 9 hours later in the morning. So I'm gonna take this out of the sun shortly, put it in the shade, and leave the multimeter logging the voltage, and I'll plot that curve against the curves for these ones, and hopefully it'll be pretty good. Okay, bye.